Have you ever opened your laptop to do something important, and 5 minutes later you're watching a completely unrelated video? Then you close it, feel guilty, and try again. But somehow, even reading one page feels hard. You start wondering, what happened to my brain? Why could I focus before, but not now? Here's the part most people miss. Your ability to focus may not be disappearing. You may simply be asking your brain to focus in an environment that constantly teaches it to switch. And once you understand that, your problem starts looking very different. Think about what happens when you sit down to study. You read 2 lines. A notification appears. You check it. Then you come back. You remember something you need to search. You open the browser. Then you notice another tab. Then another thought appears, and suddenly 20 minutes are gone. You might say, I wasted 20 minutes. But your brain experienced something slightly different. It was repeatedly changing targets. And research on task switching shows that when you move from one unfinished task to another, part of your attention can remain stuck on the previous task. Researchers call this attention residue. So even when your eyes are looking at your textbook, part of your mind may still be dealing with the message, video, conversation, or unfinished thought you just left behind. That means the problem isn't always distraction itself. Sometimes it's the cost of switching. And this leads to a strange idea. You don't always lose focus because something is more interesting. Sometimes you lose focus because your brain has become used to changing what it is doing before the first thing is finished. But there's another problem hiding underneath this. Many people try to fix focus by demanding more from themselves. Concentrate. Stop being lazy. Just try harder. That sounds logical. But imagine trying to read while someone keeps tapping your shoulder. You wouldn't call yourself lazy. You'd remove the tapping. So instead of asking, how can I force myself to focus? Ask a better question. What keeps asking for my attention? Your phone doesn't have to be evil. Social media doesn't have to be evil. Messages, music, games, videos, news, and entertainment can all have a place in your life. The problem begins when your attention has no protected space. Because attention is not just something you have, it is something you spend. And if 10 different things can demand it at any moment, deep focus becomes much harder. So here's the first change. Don't try to make your entire day distraction-free. Create one small place where distraction is not allowed. Maybe it's your desk. Maybe it's the first 20 minutes of studying. Maybe it's 1 page of reading. During that time, put your phone somewhere you cannot casually reach it. Not beside your notebook, not face down, not on silent. Somewhere that creates 1 extra step between you and the distraction. Why? Because you are not trying to become stronger than every temptation. You're changing the number of decisions your brain has to make, and that matters. Now here's something else people rarely talk about. Sometimes you don't have a focus problem. You have a clarity problem. Imagine sitting down and telling yourself, I need to study. That's not a very clear instruction. Study what? For how long? What should you finish? Where should you begin? Your brain now has to solve the task before doing the task. Instead, make the first action ridiculously clear. Not, I'll study mathematics. Say, I'll open chapter 2 and solve question 1. Not, I'll work on my project. Say, I'll write the first paragraph. The smaller instruction gives your brain somewhere to go. And there's an even better trick. Before you stop working, write down the exact next action. Because tomorrow, you won't have to spend energy figuring out where to begin. you can simply continue. This is one reason specific if-then plans can help behavior. Instead of relying on a vague promise like, "I'll focus tomorrow," create a situation and a response. If I sit at my desk at 7 p.m., I will put my phone away and start the first question. Now your future self doesn't have to negotiate with itself. But there is one more piece that people often ignore. Your brain may be tired. Not because you're weak, not because you're unmotivated, because sleep matters for attention. Research on sleep loss consistently shows that sustained attention becomes harder when you're sleep deprived. You may still be able to function, you may still attend class, you may still scroll for hours, but that doesn't mean your brain is performing at its best when it needs steady attention. So if you've been sleeping badly, don't immediately declare war on your phone. Sometimes the first focus tool is simply giving your brain enough rest to work properly. And here's where this gets uncomfortable. You may be waiting to feel focused before starting, but focus often comes after starting, not before. You don't need to feel ready to read one paragraph. You don't need to feel motivated to solve one problem. You need a clear starting point. So try this today. Choose one task. Make the first step tiny. Remove your phone from reach. Set a short period of uninterrupted time. And when your mind wanders, don't turn it into a personal attack. Notice it. Return. That's the practice. Not never getting distracted. Returning when you notice that you have left. Because focus isn't a magical state where your mind becomes perfectly still. It is the ability to notice where your attention went and gently bring it back. Again and again and again. Your brain is not broken because you struggle to focus. Your attention is responding to the environment, the demands on you, your habits, your sleep, and sometimes things that are outside your. You don't have to fix your entire life tonight. Just create one small moment today where your attention belongs to one thing. And protect that moment. Because when you stop treating focus like a personality trait, you can finally start treating it like a skill. Take one small step today. Your future isn't built in one big moment. It's built in the quiet choices you make every day. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and always shine more.